in terms of climate change, no, Chris, I did not hear anybody say, oh, this is a planetary crisis. We have got to do something. Really, the federal government should not do something? No scientist that I know believes that. What they think is if we don't act now, the bad situation will become much worse in later years. In terms of childhood poverty, I didn't hear a word about the need to address the fact that 40% of African-American kids in this country are living in poverty, nor did I hear a word, by the way, about racial justice in this country.
The candidates, as you know, Senator, went after each other somewhat last night, and they also went after Hillary Clinton, and they took sort of a side swipe at you in the process. Let me play for you what Bobby Jindal said.
Hillary Clinton is gift-wrapping this election to us. They're running their weakest candidate. They've got a socialist that is gaining on Hillary Clinton. Folks, you can't make that up. A socialist is doing well in the Democratic primary.
He says you can't make it up. It's stranger than fiction, basically. Your response?
My thought is that the more the American people understand the kind of programs that exist in democratic socialist countries like Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, and other countries around the world, where health care is a right of all people, where public colleges and universities are tuition-free, where their rate of childhood poverty is much, much lower than it is in the United States of America, where you have much more income and wealth equality and don't have the disparities that we have in this country, where in many cases, for the middle class of those countries, their standard of living is a lot higher than it is in this country. And I know for Governor Jindal, it is easy to try to frighten people. We throw out a word, socialism. Oh my goodness, we're all supposed to be shaking in our boots. But I think if you look at some of the real success stories in many of these countries, there's a lot that we can learn.
Well, make the case, because a lot of people are scary when you say socialist. It doesn't ring the right bell in a capitalist society. The countries you're talking about, the criticism will be, well, it doesn't scale up the way you're suggesting it would. They're smaller populations.
Right.
They're homogenous. They can handle that tax burden differently. And that what they're afraid of with Sanders is that you're going to tax us to death in order to give to the people who need, but you'll be taking from everybody else too much.
No, I will not be. And Chris, of course you're right in saying that, you know, countries like Finland and Denmark and Sweden are much more homogenous than we are. They are much smaller than we are. But there are lessons that we can learn. Why are we the only major nation on Earth that doesn't guarantee health care to all people? Forget Scandinavia. I live 100 miles away from Canada. All of their people have health care, and they do it much more cost effectively than we do. Why are we the only major country on Earth that doesn't guarantee paid family and medical leave, so when a working class woman has a baby, she's not forced to be separated from her baby and go back to work a week or 2 weeks later? Why do we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on Earth? Why is it that hundreds of thousands of bright young kids today cannot afford to go to college? So I think, yes, the United States is a much larger economy, much more complicated economy, much more diverse society.